should think twice. Would you wanna be like you? How you gonna reply? Would you wanna be like you?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be not really reviewing because I actually have played with this palette a little bit last night. That was my first time dipping into this palette, but I will be doing like a little mini review slash demo of the Midas Cosmetics Smoky Glow palette. It is very up my alley. These are definitely the colors that I tend to go to, and spoiler alert, I do love this palette. I do recommend it. It is from an indie brand, Midas Cosmetics. I have been following them for a little bit now, and I really love a lot of the things that they're coming out with. I feel like indie brands are kind of killing it. They're coming out with things that are more innovative, things that are kind of sparking my interest. The packaging on a lot of these products from Midas Cosmetics and other indie brands are just, I feel like a lot of indie brands, basically what I'm trying to say is, they are kind of taking more of the time and effort into producing products that I think people actually want to buy. Whereas with these big companies, they kind of are just on the mindset of just push product, get product out, sell to have people buy. Whereas like these smaller companies, they're taking the time to actually figure out what people want, not necessarily just putting out crap that nobody wants and or needs. So long rant over, not super long, but all that to say basically is I really think indie brands are killing it. And on my last tutorial, I used from Midas Cosmetics the Flower Bomb palette. I do plan on doing more looks with that palette for sure. There was some pinks and purples in that palette as well, but I knew I was going to be filming this tutorial. So for the sake of not having too many pink and purple looks on my channel, I definitely wanted to do something more cool tone because, as you can see, this is definitely not like a cool tone palette. There are some purples in here, but you know, paired with the pinks, it doesn't read as cool toned. So this, if I had to choose between the two, I mean, both of them are great, honestly, and the prices are not bad. I will insert all the information down below where to purchase. You can use a code SMOKYGLOW to get money off, which is what I did. So not only was I supporting by buying the collab, I was actually using the affiliate code too. I follow and subscribe to Hannah Smoky Glow, her channel, and I just love her. She is a commentary channel, she is a beauty channel, and she's just such a nice person. Honestly, I comment on almost all of her videos and she always responds, she always likes my comments. She actually is one of those people who you feel like, okay, like she's actually down to earth and like a nice person. So when I saw that she was coming out with this collab, I was like, I knew I had to have it. I didn't buy it on first launch. It launched in January, in early January, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't purchase it right from the jump because pink is my favorite color. So I have quite a few pinks in my collection. So at first I thought of it from like a customer standpoint where I'm like, in my collection I have a lot of pinks, but then I started to think like, I want to support, like I really do want to support. And then, you know, when it sold out, the collection sold out, I kind of got a little bit of like, damn, I should have bought that. So then I was like, okay, if I'm still thinking about it, you know, a few months later, I need to have it. So I eventually bought it and I don't regret it. Honestly, I am so impressed with it. And if you want to definitely put this baby into action. So if you want to see that, keep on watching. Another thing I wanted to say, I know I look a hot mess. That's not what I wanted to say. But what I wanted to say is like I said, I played with this palette last night and I did create a look. I will insert a picture somewhere on the screen. I'm not going to recreate that look that I did. Although if you guys want to see how I did that, I can definitely film a tutorial on it. I wanted to do something because that look wasn't necessarily like super like everyday wearable, you know? I mean, anything is truly wearable as long as you put it on your face and you go wear it. It's technically wearable, but it's not necessarily like the everyday typical kind of thing. I do want to play with the color for sure. There's a beautiful like coral color in here. I think I want to dive into that because in the look I did last night, I did not use that color and I'm definitely like dying to play with that one. So I think I might go like along that route, you know, put some pinks and purple maybe in there somewhere, but I don't know. I'm kind of just, I don't really have an idea of like what I want to do. I just know I want to try to utilize as much color as possible, but still keep things wearable. I don't want things to be too like difficult, hard to achieve basically. So like I said, if you want me to do a tutorial on the other look, let me know. Okay, so I primed my eyelid, which I always pretty much use this product, especially when I'm doing color. I used my P. Louise Rumor Zero Eye Base, and then first from the Smoky Glow palette, I am using the color Jump Cut. And I am just gonna take that on a pretty big fluffy brush already. That was one dunk in, and I'm, you know, getting a lot of something going on there. I'm taking that mostly into my crease, bringing it a little higher than my natural crease. I have almond shaped eyes, so I kind of have to go a little bit higher to give the illusion that I have more lid space. This color has a lot of pigmentation, but I rather in this look kind of build the color up as opposed to go in full saturation and then try to diffuse. I will say though that this color has more of like a pinky undertone to it as opposed to an orange undertone, because it's like a coral color, but it's more leaning on the pink side than orange. Which is good because this is a very like pink palette, so this color definitely will help you tie those other colors in, if that makes any sense. So I thought that was a really nice choice. Like I said, I have no idea what look I'm going for. I'm kind of just doing something. Because whereas the look I did last night, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do, what colors I wanted to use. This, I'm kind of just like, you know, going for it. Okay, so now with a little bit of a smaller brush, this is the Morphe M514. I'm going to take that color, the warrior color, I don't know if I said that. I'm going to be taking that more so in my actual crease, a little bit lower than the color I used before was, the Jump Cut color. And does anyone else watch Smoky Glow on YouTube? I really love her videos. I mean, I love when she talks about like the makeup and beauty community, but sometimes she'll just even be talking about like problematic influencers who aren't even in the beauty community. And I'm like, even if I don't know them, I'll find myself being like, you know what, girl, you are right. I don't like her either. She's just one of those people who like can talk, and I'm like, just so like, I watch pretty much all of her videos, and my children do too. And her theme song, when it opens, they always like, you know, do her little theme song. I'll try to see if I can insert it somehow. But if I, for some reason, can't, just go over onto one of her videos. It's always like that first few seconds in any one of her videos. They always are kind of like humming and dancing along to it. It's so funny. And then she always has like the hi friends, which is actually on the palette right here. It says hi friends. So I think that's like such a cute, nice touch. I love when, you know, things are so like thought out like that. I just love it. And like I said, so far this palette, I mean, I'm trying to use the other colors that I didn't use in the look I did last night. I'm trying to use those colors just so I have like a well-rounded idea, and then that way I can really tell you how I'm feeling about this palette or not. Although I can already tell you, I mean, there would have to be like, I've used now at this point quite a few of the colors. There would have to be, I don't even know, a catastrophe would have to happen for me to be like, no, this is not good. But at this point, and I'm really not like, if something, as much as I love Hannah, you know, if a product is bad, like, I want you to know that I definitely will tell you. Like, there's some products that I have where I could say, like, oh, no, don't. Like, it's not good. It's not worth your money. It's not worth your time or your effort. Like, just skip it. And this is not one of these. Like, so far, everything, because I am not someone who gets PR, like, at all. I don't get PR from anyone. So if I am putting a product on my channel right now, especially because I am buying everything myself, I love it. You know, I mean, there have been some things where I bought where I'm like, but I haven't featured any of those products so far on my channel. I'm really kind of just trying to, and even if I were to at some point get PR, I think I would still try to keep this mostly like a makeup tutorial channel where I am mostly just using products that I love. And I also want you guys to know that too, like, just because brands are releasing products every 5 seconds does not mean you have to go out and buy all of those products. I find myself even too, I don't want this to get into like a rant or anything. Like, this is the video, the point of this video is to talk about like this palette, but I also want to kind of, you know, dive into some things. Now I'm taking the color Amazing and I'm just going to keep this on the outer portion of my eye, like the outer V. But back to what I was saying, I want to keep this channel mostly like tutorial based, almost kind of like the old YouTube. I know people say that they miss the old YouTube where people would just show them makeup looks and how to create those makeup looks and using palettes that a lot of people have in their collections already. Whereas like a lot of influencers, especially the top influencers, are doing like review after review or trying new makeup. And like, as much as I do like to watch those videos myself just to see what's new and up and coming and stuff, no one, realistically, the average person does not have the money to buy every new release. Like, it just isn't gonna happen. So I want people to feel like, and a lot of things are repetitive in the makeup industry. Like, if you really take a step back and look at everything, there's a lot of repeats. But I mean, especially with eyeshadows, like in the rainbow, like how many colors are there? Like, after a while, of course things are gonna start looking repetitive. I mean, that's just the way it is. And now we've come such a long way. I'm taking a little bit of Half Pony, which is a darker brown, just to deepen this up a little. The way it is in the industry, I mean, it would have to take a lot for these companies to do things that we have not seen before. It's just the way it is. I mean, we've come to a place where we've kind of evolved enough. It's not like where it was like even like 5-ish years ago, where we didn't really have a crazy amount in the ways of makeup. But now these companies are realizing like this is $1 billion industry and it's on track to be $1 trillion within the next few years, I've read somewhere. So, and everyone, even celebrities, are trying to jump in on this, you know, and trying to make a palette or have collabs and whatnot coming out. And it's just getting to a point where it's so oversaturated. And as much as I am obsessed and I love makeup, I like live, eat, breathe, drink makeup. I mean, not literally, obviously. And even I'm getting kind of burnt out. Even I'm getting to the point where it's like, okay, like there's I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I'm going back into Amazing right now just to kind of blend things out. But how do I word this? Like, there comes a point where it's like, I mean, a company, especially like these large corporations, you know, they're in it for the money, obviously, but you also too, you want to support a company and a brand who actually, you feel like they're trying, I guess, like, to phrase it. Like, sometimes you feel like it's just like a cash grab and it's just for money. Like, these companies don't really care about like the actual making and selling of makeup, or they don't really care about the consumer. They just want you to buy. You're literally just a dollar sign to them. And sometimes from certain companies, I won't name any names, I won't name any, you know, people or collaborators or whatnot. It just literally feels like it's just it's so like half-hearted, and it's like, I don't want to support someone like that. I don't want to support a company. I don't want to support a person. I don't want to support anything where you feel like you're just like money to them. Like, I don't know. That's just me personally. That is why I love these indie brands now. And I follow quite a few of them now, and seeing a lot of them on their Instagram posts, they're so supportive even of each other. Like Midas Cosmetics will like Kaleido's makeup, like their posts a lot, and they'll shout each other out, and they'll do like indie brand giveaways, which I think Midas Cosmetics is actually, from the time I'm filming this, is doing a giveaway with a few other indie brands to win a few products from like their brands, like a few of their like staple pieces, I guess. And I love that they're supporting each other instead of like trying to call each other out and like undercut each other, because at the end of the day, if you don't like Too Faced, which I personally don't, if you don't like Too Faced, you're not going to buy Too Faced. So it doesn't matter if Too Faced is talking crap about another brand. If I don't like you, I don't like you. And if I'm not going to support you, I'm not going to support you. Like, that's just my standpoint on things, but I don't know. I didn't want this to be like a ranty video, but I don't know. I feel like I'm still trying to like come out of my shell. I swear I have a personality. Honestly, the only reason I do my voiceover videos is because I have 2 children, and half the time they're trying to kill each other in the background, and I don't want y'all to hear that. So, that's why I do my voiceover videos. Like, I find like a little quiet place in the house, and I do my little like clip by clip sections of the voiceover. So then that way it just sounds seamless. I don't like it because it seems a little impersonal, personally, to me. That's kind of the, you know, I don't want it to feel like that. I would like to do more talking videos. I feel like I, have a good amount to say. I feel like I'm starting to kind of come out of my shell a little bit. It's difficult. I'm not talking to a person. I am talking to you guys, of course, but technically, physically, I'm talking to a camera, or my phone, actually. I film on my iPhone. So I'm trying to break out of my shell. You know, I have a personality, I promise. I'm not like this little robot speaking on a voiceover. Like, I actually have things to say, other than now I am taking this purple shade on my Morphe brush. Like, that's not... I don't want all my videos to be like that, but just because of convenience wise, sometimes I kind of have to make them like that. But I do want to get more into like just actually talking, and, you know, I feel like I'm doing this repetitive motion on my eyeshadow, and I don't even need to. Like, it's definitely where I want it to be. I'm just like, when I get into a moment and I'm like all in, like I'm all in. So, okay. So now I think I'm pretty... Actually, let me blend this one section out. Where is it? This one shade. And then I think I'm just gonna do like half cut crease. Nothing crazy, nothing too out of the box. It's kind of like my typical style. And I do see a lot of people doing like, I think people are getting more comfortable with doing cut creases and half cut creases. So I feel like this is something that you could recreate. It's not necessarily something too difficult. I mean, everyone has, you know, their own level of where they are with makeup. So to some people, this might be really difficult. And I know to me a few years ago, this definitely was really difficult. But just practice, honestly. Okay, so now I am going to do the cut crease, or like my half cut crease, and I'm taking, this is a Morphe brush. I mentioned it in my brush video. It doesn't have a name, so, but I typically like a smaller brush for doing cut creases. It just works for my eye shape better. And then I'm going back in with my P. Louise base. But now for my lid, because now I'm happy with how things are looking, although I will at some point buff out this line. I'm going into the color Group Chat from the palette, And I'm just going to place that on my lid where I had the cut crease carved out. This is a pretty color. It's just basically like a baby pink with kind of like silvery like specks, I guess, through it. I feel like their formula in general is really good, but I like their like shimmers. Ooh, oh, not spraying at my laptop. And I'm just gonna wet my brush and apply it with a wet brush just to see if that like does anything. I always find like I feel like I kind of try to do that as much as possible just to see like if it changes things, you know. It's making it a little more reflective, but not by much. I feel like on its own, like it's pretty reflective. And I like the fact that you are able to pick it up on a brush. I don't have nails. I know I mentioned this in every video. I have my nail infection, which is like getting worse by the moment. But so honestly, this band-aid is for your safety, not mine. But I did have nails. So if I had nails getting in with my fingers, because I usually keep them relatively longer, I wouldn't be able to get into a palette or to even be able to get into and pack shadow on my eye if I had nails, which I will not be wearing nails for quite a long time, I will say, probably for a few years if I'm not mistaken. Even if when this heals up and things are back to normal, I think I'm good. Okay, so now I'm just gonna blend. If you see this harsh line here, I'm just gonna blend that out. And I am taking that color Amazing, which is like this burgundy reddish shade. This look to me reminds me of something that would be perfect for Valentine's Day. I mean, Valentine's Day passed already, but... And this palette, like I said, did originally first come out in January. So, you know, that was like kind of perfect timing for that. And then people, I would imagine, you know, started receiving it. I got mine. The shipment was like really quick, honestly. Especially during this like pandemic that's going on. That's pretty impressive. But I thought that was pretty impressive. I like made the purchase and then I think like a day later I got the shipping notification. So they are very fast. They're very quick with things. They're on their social media a lot, and I didn't have an issue, so I didn't have to reach out to customer service or anything. But I would imagine they're good with that. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone have like any major issues, and if they have, I'm pretty sure it was taken care of. So that's a big plus. I love when companies are very, I mean, we're supporting you, so it's nice when they help support us too, you know? So I thought that was a big plus. I really appreciate that. If you have any questions, they have a lot of different people wearing their products, men, women, white, black, Spanish, Asian, like they, you know, they definitely, I feel like they're trying to get the whole, you know, be inclusive. Their skin tone, I feel like they definitely have everyone covered. They're really nice, and I really like this company. So, you know, I think it was a good choice. Definitely. They did a good job for sure. I mean, this looks amazing. I'm not done with it yet, but already I'm like obsessed with it. But I might be a little biased because pink is my favorite color. So, you know, it's, you know, it would have to be a horrible formula for me to be like, ooh. So, okay, so now I think I'm pretty good with it. Like, I think I'm going to keep things as is. I'm probably going to end up doing wing liner and lashes and all that stuff. So I'm going to end up doing that off of camera because doesn't matter for the eyeshadow palette. So I will do all of that and I'll be right back. So once again, just like in the last video, I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So basically what I said before is my too much gene kicked in and I ended up going in with a little bit of like a graphic liner kind of thing. I ended up using my Suva Beauty Scrunchie Hydraliner and my Suva Beauty 610 liner brush. It's just very small, good for detailing, good for like liner work, especially if you have like hooded eyes and whatnot, or you just want those like tiny little details. I definitely recommend it. So I basically took that where the cut crease is and then as my winged liner, and So now what I was doing is going in and doing my lower lash line. So I took the color Amazing and I stamped it on. It's just that like darker burgundy kind of color that we used on the top. For this look, I don't want to do like anything too crazy. I feel like we kind of got something crazy going on already. So I'm just kind of tying what I did on top down on my lower lash line. Okay, so now on a fluffier brush, I am just going to take that same color and just kind of like buff everything out. Just so it's a little bit smokier. And then also, and now that I remember, another thing that I was saying before I realized I was not recording, is that with this palette, I noticed there's not a lot of like kick up or fallout, which is really good. To me, that's not something that I like mind necessarily in a palette. I always do my eyes first, so it's not something I typically like worry about. The only time it's kind of a pain in the butt for me personally is that when I'm doing my lower lash line, how I'm doing now, and I already have my face makeup on, and then sometimes I get a little bit of fallout on my face makeup. But if you just tap off the excess on your brush before you go in, that usually solves some of the problem. And then you don't have to worry too much about fallout and whatnot. You do have to build the color up a little bit more then, because you're tapping off some of that pigment, but sometimes it's better to do that than to have a giant mess and then be like, oh crap, now I have to figure out how to clean this up. And then now I'm going in with like a bigger brush and going in with that jump cut color, just lightly, like just lightly dusting it. Just to like further blend things out, make things look a little smokier, just so everything that I feel like I have going on top is also happening on the bottom. Okay, so I'm just gonna do some mascara on my lower lash line and I will be right back and hopefully recording. Okay, so I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but I am mentioning it now. In the collab, there was an eyeshadow palette, a highlighter palette, and then 3 lip glosses. And then you could also buy the PR bundle. And I just ended up getting the eyeshadow palette and a lip gloss, which I'm going to use in just a moment. I will include prices for everything if you are interested in buying, you know, one thing, the whole thing. They have the PR bundle you can purchase that kind of, you know, drops the prices of individual items, so things are a little bit cheaper. Or they have the lip gloss trio too. From the lip glosses, I just bought the one. There is a beautiful, it's kind of like a red. It's not super opaque, but not super sheer. I think it's really pretty. I almost bought that one, but then I personally am not super into like pigmented lip glosses. I have a few, but I find myself not reaching for them quite as much. So I knew that's something that, as pretty as it is, it's not something I would really get a lot of use out of. And then she has another color, which I don't know the names offhand, but like I said, I will list everything. She also has another color that is, it's very sheer. It's almost like a pink kind of color, but it's on the lips. I feel like it looks more clear. And then she has this one that I ended up buying, which is Sparkle On. And this is like, from the pictures I saw, I was like, yes, this is right up my alley. And I'm not gonna put, oh wow. I'm not gonna put, and that's like a first like an actual like reaction, first impression. It's almost like a metallic. They weren't kidding when they said sparkle on. Wow. If I ever mess up my lips or lip gloss, it's always this side for some reason. Wow. For me personally, the eye look that I have going on, I think this is a little much, you know, between the eyes and the lips. I feel like these are not, like, this isn't, if I were to wear this eye look, I don't necessarily think I would wear this lip gloss, because it's kind of a lot, but I mean, it looks pretty. I'm trying to like look on camera and it looks really pretty. I like how it looks all together, but in person, it's like intense, It's like a metallic, really, but it's so pretty. It definitely has that shimmer of like a silver and then pink reflect to it. I love it. But if I were to wear this, which I definitely will, I think I would end up wearing a little bit more of like a neutral, toned down kind of eye. I just wanted to really work with this palette and see what it's capable of. She does have, which I probably will end up doing something a little bit more wearable. She has a few shades in here that you can do more for like an everyday look. You have some browns, you have some like nude tones. There's definitely things that you can do in here that are more for like everyday use. So don't feel like you have to immediately jump right into the color, or you can always do a pop of color. Like I could always do a pop of color on the lower lash line or in the inner corner, which is I was considering doing, but I was like, you know what? Let's just go in. You know, I love color. That's like my safe place. I recommend, and I want to say congratulations to Hannah. You freaking killed it. I love it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, congratulations. This is so beautiful. I can't wait to play more. And definitely, you know, if you want to see more videos like this, if you have any recommendations, if you want to, you know, if you saw a color in here you want me to work with. I didn't really work with the purples too much, so I might do that next. Maybe do like a pop of purple in my next look. So if you have any requests, let me know. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you so much for watching.
Maybe you
Bye.
should think twice. Would you wanna be like you?